last fall as Grewal Hall at 224, and it can accommodate concerts, weddings, corporate conferences, charity events, trade shows, and more. With a standing room capacity of 900 and over 6,000 square feet, Grewal Hall at 224 can entertain parties of up to 225 in formal banquet seating and 400 in a theater arrangement like today's. For more information about this space, let's welcome our friend Kevin Meyer.
Well, hello, folks. I would like to welcome all of you to Grewal Hall on behalf of the ownership group and our staff. We thank you for attending this evening, and I'd like to welcome and thank all of those that might be viewing remotely as well. We would also like to thank the mayor and his team for choosing to hold the State of the City address here. We're honored to host you tonight, and we look forward to a great evening here. The space here, as you can see, was built to be very flexible, to accommodate different types of seating and different types of events. The ownership group has some deep roots in the community. They also have some deep roots in the entertainment industry. And I would tell you that all of us are very proud to be part of the placemaking that's taking place here in downtown Lansing. In our first 120 days, we opened late October last year. In our first 120 days, we've had 47 events. We've welcomed over 11,000 people through the door in those events. So certainly having an impact. The events themselves have ranged from corporate events for meetings, for fundraisers, for parties, to our concert schedules. And we've been fortunate enough to host a wide variety of different genres of music, as well as comedy. And now on April 5th, our first poetry event, right? So yeah. So the concerts have ranged from, as I mentioned, comedy to rock, to hard rock, to EDM, to hip hop, to country, to classic country. We're really trying to feature every genre out there. Jazz shows, neo-soul jazz just last Friday. We've had different audiences nearly every night, and that was really a goal for us and for the future of this venue, is to be inclusive and include everybody in the community and all different sorts of art forms. So we're excited that we've started our journey. We hope that you go to grewalhall.com and that you get more information there. You check out the concert schedule and maybe come back for a night out with your significant other or even a friend. But anyhow, just come on back. And there's some great restaurants even on the square, and there's other restaurants around town. Last weekend we saw a good deal of that. We saw a lot of people coming in on Friday night for the Neo Soul Jazz show, and they'd had dinner before and they went other places after. So please go to the website and check it out, and thank you for my shameless plug here in listening, and have a great night. And if you need anything else from us, just give myself or some of the staff a tap on the shoulder this evening. Thanks.
I also want to acknowledge a number of elected officials that are here. It's hard to see with the lights, so I know we have a number of representatives from the City Council, from county office, so we have a number of our district judges here, school board, there's LCC representation, Michigan State representation. We do have a number of former elected officials and some legislators here. If you are a former elected or a currently elected member, would you please rise to be recognized? Thank you for being here today. Mayor Schor wanted me to just make a couple of remarks about some of the exciting things that have been happening at the state capitol over the last year. I'm excited that we have a great delegation here that represents the city of Lansing in the legislature. As I mentioned before, my partner, Senator Sarah Anthony, we've got Representative Emily Devendorf, Representative Kara Hope, Representative Angela Whitwer, as well as other members of the broader Ingham County delegation. And we've been focused, as you probably have seen over the last year, just making sure that with the new majorities that we have in the House and the Senate, that we are focused on people and making sure that things are working well for the people here in the state as well as here in the city. We had a strong focus at the beginning of our year to focus on fundamental civil rights, whether that was protecting and enshrining within our civil rights ordinances protections to the LGBTQ community, making sure that we prohibited hair discrimination through the Crown Act that Senator Anthony championed. We wanted to make sure that reproductive rights for women were honored and enshrined in our laws. We wanted to make sure that collective bargaining as well as prevailing wage were once again the focus of our state of Michigan. We wanted to make sure that we were making investments in people, and so we took a surplus and made sure that we put those resources in specific tax cuts for individuals who were working. Working families that use the Earned Income Tax Credit, we want to help those families be able to take a little bit more home with them here this tax season. We also wanted to help our seniors who are on fixed income get their retirement tax back. We also wanted to focus on clean energy and make sure that Michigan was a leader in clean energy here in the mid-Michigan area. And then as a budget came through last spring, we wanted to make sure it was a budget that was focused on the people and making sure that those resources were getting down to our schools, to our community colleges, to our neighborhoods, to make sure that we were focusing on affordable housing in a variety of number of efforts. Because of the unique nature of our Ingham County delegation and the City of Lansing delegation, especially having two chairs of appropriation, that being Representative Angela Whitwer and Senator Sarah Anthony, we saw record resources being brought back to the City of Lansing. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of the legislature for being able to provide those resources here for the community. We look forward to continued conversation and continued policy as the months go by. We're in the middle of our next round of budgets, and we look forward to continuing that investment back here in the city of Lansing and to our surrounding communities. It is my honor and privilege to introduce my friend Andy Schor. Andy Schor is serving as the 52nd mayor of the city of Lansing. Prior to his election as mayor, Andy served as a state representative in the State House, as well as an Ingham County commissioner. Mayor Schor believes that Lansing's time is now, and he is focused on Lansing being its best self, a diverse, vibrant, and welcoming community. He and his wife Erin are proud to call Lansing home. They're raising their two children here, and they sent them through the Lansing Public Schools. Now, we're going to take a cue to show a quick video, and then I'll introduce the mayor formally. And I want to make sure that as we finish up the mayor's speech, we want you to stick around. Miranda and the M80s will be here and performing for us. But before that, it is my honor and privilege to bring forward our mayor, Mayor Andy Schor.
Thank you, Sam. Sam Singh is such a good friend. I appreciate the introduction. We've known each other a really long time. In fact, in the car on the way here, my wife and I and my daughter were talking about the video that Sam and I did many years ago, the Sam and Andy video. It was hilarious. Nobody knows this, so everyone keep it a secret, but I had to stand on a box to be next to Sam. Such a good friend. Thank you for all the folks that have sung and spoken. Thank you to Veronica. Thank you to Pastor Milton, to Masaki, I think I got the name right, to Kevin, and then of course to Senator Singh. What an honor, what a lineup. It's hard act to follow, but I'm gonna do my best. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to my 7th State of the City speech. Thank you all for being here tonight. I can see like no one, so if I look at you, I swear to God, I'm not looking at you. I can see like nothing here. So I guess that's probably good for me. But first I do want to thank everyone here at Grewal Hall. This is Lansing's newest live entertainment venue, and they're having us here and allowing us to show off this awesome new facility, and it's fantastic. And of course, when I start my speech, I got to start with thanking my family. When I am at meetings and events and city council and so many other places, my wife Erin, she keeps it all running, she keeps it all going. But that's in addition to her job directing policy for our Secretary of State and serving on a whole variety of boards and commissions. I don't know where she finds the time. And my children, Ryan and Hannah, they have to put up with all the commotion of being the mayor's kids, whether it's taking extra time at Rite Aid or at a restaurant because someone has questions, or just being asked, what's the mayor like? And they always take it in stride. I expect that they say how wonderful I am, but honestly, they probably just see, like, it's in the speech, I swear. They probably just roll their eyes and say, my dad is weird. But I truly couldn't do this without each of them, so please stand and be recognized. My son is actually working tonight, so we're all very thrilled about that. So he's excused from being at the speech, so good for him. I also have to thank the incredible members of my team who keep our city running. Lansing has an incredible administration made up of department directors and leaders who oversee our over 900 city employees every day. I also have an incredible personal staff that assists in navigating the daily operations in city government. Not just great singers, but also great in helping out our residents as well as those that work and play in Lansing. So can our department directors, senior staff, and my staff please stand and be recognized? I also want to thank our city clerk as well as our Lansing City Council members. They work hard on behalf of Lansing, and they believe in Lansing, and they're great to work with. And I want to thank, as Sam did, our Lansing's legislative delegation, who fought for and passed not only incredible policy, but record funding for our city. Sam stole my thunder a little bit, but still needs to be repeated. So can our city council members and our state legislators also stand and be recognized for all that you do and have done for our city? Well, I'm proud to report that the state of our city is resilient and it's growing stronger. While we still navigate challenges and issues that all communities face, we've been able to accomplish much after having to change our lives due to the pandemic. We've gotten so much done, and I'm proud of the strength and perseverance of our city. I've talked about growth for so many years, proudly proclaiming that Lansing's time is now. I've announced a variety of plans and proposals, and today I'll talk about where we have been and my vision for the city's future. One of my top priorities is ensuring we have a safe community. The Lansing Police Department receives 100,000 calls for assistance each year. So I want to start tonight by talking about the efforts of our law enforcement team. We've seen crime go down over the last few years, and I'm proud of that. Violent crime is down 27% from the peak 2021 year, and homicides, while each and every one is terrible, have also gone down 17%. While crime is down, we continue to see a steady pace of shootings because illegal guns are just too easy for people to get, and they're too empowering for people to use. Lansing's Violent Crime Initiative, or VCI, has taken over 1,600 guns off the street since 2021, and they'll continue to be active in removing these illegal weapons from use. But we really need help preventing illegal guns from getting on the streets in the first place. I am tremendously encouraged by the safe storage laws and the extreme protection laws that our legislature passed. Tools like these will be helpful in preventing guns from getting into the wrong hands. So thank you again to our state legislators and to Governor Gretchen Whitmer for getting that done. Now let's hear from Chief Ellery Sosby and Assistant Chief Rob Backus about LPD's efforts.
In 2023, the Lansing Police Department, along with its federal and state partners, seized 500 guns off the streets of Lansing to keep our community more safe.
We also have to give our detectives credit. Last year we had over an 80% clearance rate for our fatal homicides, which is well above the national average. We know that when we have a high clearance rate for our homicides, that we're working towards building the public trust, and we're ensuring that the people responsible for these events are held accountable.
It was a historic year for LPD. We had 17 recruits come through the Mid-Michigan Police Academy, which is the largest number of police recruits that we've had in our history here at the Lansing Police Department. Very exciting to get a large group of young, eager individuals to want to become Lansing police officers and be another one of Capital City's finest. It's a good feeling to get our numbers back up to where the staffing level should be. It'll give those officers that are out there right now that have been working so hard for so long, understaffed, a break, and give that fresh outlook and those fresh set of eyes of those younger officers to help our community and help our city become what we know it should be.
Well, it's not just violent crime that we're addressing. We know there are too many people that are going too fast on our streets. Our Operation Slowdown is showing results. We continue to review traffic calming requests, and we've been working with neighborhoods to find solutions on ways to slow people down. We purchase speed trailers and we move them around the city to slow people down and collect data. We also place electronic speed signs throughout the city that detect drivers' speed, remind them to slow down, and we'll be placing officers in areas surrounding these signs to provide citations. Now, I don't like ticketing Lansing residents, but we need people to slow down and keep streets and pedestrians safe. I'm also tremendously proud of our prevention work. We were the first city in the state to hire social workers in our police department, and that team has been very active. Our social workers do so much to address mental health problems in policing situations, and they work with people who are victims of crime. Our community policing officers and our community service team at the Lansing Police Department do incredible proactive work. It's always encouraging to see them out talking to residents. They visit businesses and they hear what the issues are, and they hold events to socialize with neighbors. Lansing was one of the first cities to use community policing, and it continues to be a great success for our residents. It's also important to mention our non-police activities. We're funding the Advanced Peace Initiative to reduce cyclical, retaliatory gun-related violence. A key component is the Peacemaker Fellowship, which aims to break the cycle of gun hostilities and alter the trajectory of the lives of young men and women through in-depth daily interactions. In the first year alone, fellows participated in cognitive behavioral therapy, life coaching, and job readiness sessions, and they spent over 1,500 hours engaging Lansing neighborhoods. We're working with the Michigan Public Health Institute to increase the fellowship and expand to other Lansing neighborhoods, as well as surrounding communities and the Lansing School District. So I want to thank MPHI and their staff for all their hard work here in Lansing. I can't see if you're here, but if you are, you're welcome to stand up, but I can't see it. So now let's talk a little bit. Are they here? Hey, there we go. There it is. I see you. Now let's talk a little bit about our physical infrastructure. Our corridors, business districts, and our neighborhoods. The places where we live, shop, eat, and have fun. And the places that visitors see when they come into town. Last year, working with our state legislators, as well as state agencies and the federal government and regional partnerships, our administration secured over $200 million in both state and federal grants and appropriation. From 2018 to 2023, we attracted $3.8 billion of private investment, creating 3,207 jobs and retaining another 342 jobs in Lansing. Additionally, our facade grant program has improved 59 commercial business facades. These great projects have taken place in every part in Lansing. So let me take you on a quick tour around the city to highlight some of them. We're going to start on the east side, which has been a priority for many years. Mayor David Hollister started the momentum in the area we now call the Stadium District, and my administration has continued this work. We now have the Capital City Market, where there was a food desert, and we have housing above it, and a new hotel for the first time in decades. More recently, the old Clara's, which all of us remember fondly, is now a community Starbucks and a Bobcat Bonnie's, which is a cool new restaurant. The incredible Lansing Shuffle Food Hall just added 2 more restaurants last month, and the shuffleboard courts will open soon, I promise. I keep saying it. Just outside is Rotary Park, which has been tremendously popular with a new boat launch, a beach, and incredible waterfront activation. And down the street, the University of Michigan Health and Sparrow are working closely with us to improve the areas around the hospital, as well as to provide world-class health care for our region. I commend their new leadership for actively working with my administration, the surrounding neighborhood, and our community. Go Blue! There it is. I put like a note in there, like pause to see for some booze, but that's all right, it'll get better. Michigan Avenue will look even better thanks to the City of Lansing facade improvement grants and the Michigan Corridor Improvement Authority with assistance from the Capital Area Community Foundation on the 2000 block. This is just their latest investment in Lansing, so I want to thank Lori Baumer and the Community Foundation for your support of Michigan Avenue, as well as Rotary Park and the brand new universally accessible playground on the riverfront. Thank you, Lori. A little further to the east, on the other side of US 127, we're seeing tremendous growth in the Red Cedar District. We have new housing for MSU students, we have housing for Lansing residents and seniors. There are 2 new hotels with wonderful amenities and some great new shopping and dining. And on the east side, we can't forget about the incredible work still happening on Kalamazoo Street at Allen Place. There are some wonderful restaurants, businesses, housing, and Ingham County healthcare facility as well. Joan Nelson's legacy has created an even stronger east side. On the west side, we've been working to make the Saginaw corridor look even better. We have the fantastic new Moneyball store and headquarters. I want to thank Desmond Ferguson for believing in Lansing and for bringing your operations to this corridor. I think he's here. I encourage you all to go get your Moneyball gear, and soon you'll be able to get Moneyball clothing with the Lansing logo. So I want to thank you again, Desmond Ferguson, for everything you're doing for Lansing. Oh, okay. Across from Moneyball, we have the former Parks Furniture Building. It's an eyesore. It sat idle for too many years, and it's about to be restored and renamed the Iris. We're working with Steve and Reshane Lonzo, who will revitalize this building and add some exciting new amenities, including housing and commercial space, supported by a $1 million revitalization and placemaking grant that the city secured from the state. If you don't recognize the name, the Lonzos recently rehabbed the old Leo's Outpost on South Pennsylvania at 496 into the great new Comfort Zone Cigar Bar. So Steve and Reshane, if you're here, please stand. Let's recognize you as well. Oh, and in case you missed it, and maybe Rep. Devendorf can help me out here, we were successful in securing $19 million to clean up and prepare the old Fisher Body plant for development. Thank you, Representative Devendorf, for your help. This work will take place over the next few years and will lead to incredible new businesses on that site, more people working there like they did back in the old days, and a reuse of that vacant, blighted property. So now let's move on to the south side. We have so much happening on the south side of Lansing. In southeast Lansing, McLaren invested $600 million in a new hospital, we know that, but the campus also includes another incredible $25 million medical building, thanks to the generosity of Coach Tom and Lupe Izzo, along with Pat Gillespie. So thank you, Coach, and go green. I told you it was coming. Can't do one without the other, not in this town. In the Potter Walsh neighborhood, we worked with developer Jeff Dehan and Dymaxion to repurpose the old Home Street School. Now, these are wonderful new apartments, and it's an exciting addition after removing the blight that had been there for so many years. And speaking of schools, it's really exciting to see progress being made on the new Mount Hope Elementary School in the Sycamore Park neighborhood. I was certainly sad to see the old Mount Hope School get knocked down. Both my kids went there at some point in their elementary school years. But knowing what's coming makes it all worthwhile for our children and for the future. On South Cedar Street in South Lansing, this is a major corridor, and I am taking an active interest in redeveloping this area of the south side. At South Cedar and Mount Hope, the old Walter French School has sat vacant for too long. The Capital Area Housing Partnership, with funding from the City of Lansing and others, are completely rehabilitating that building. Going from blight to housing for mixed incomes, they'll also have services for the community. Construction is progressing fast, and I'm excited for how this will change the area. So thank you to the Capital Area Housing Partnership and to Raleigh Van Fossen, who we stole from the Capital Area Housing Partnership and is now working for us. What a wonderful project. But we aren't just working on buildings. We're also helping many small businesses that are the lifeblood of this corridor. Our facade improvement program has supported several projects in this area, and we're working on getting rid of the blight that is the former University Motor Mall on Edgewood. I'm optimistic that we will be announcing a redevelopment and reactivation there soon, so the future is bright for the South Cedar corridor. Staying on the south side, on South Washington between Mount Hope and Green Lawn, we're creating a new, what we call, corridor of care. The former McLaren Hospital will see new resources and behavioral health facilities that are desperately needed in our city and our region. Child and Family Charities recently renovated the old McCree House, turning it into Jackson House, a youth shelter that will augment their current programming. Again, the City of Lansing was proud to provide $1 million from our revitalization and placemaking funds toward this project, in addition to securing a HUD grant of nearly $2 million to address youth homelessness. Thank you to Julie Tomasma and her staff for all their hard work for the youth and families of Lansing, and thank you to Jackson National Life for helping make their dreams a reality. Across the street, the city's old South Washington office complex is coming down. In its place, along with the old parking lot, will be our brand new state-of-the-art public safety and district court complex. This $175 million project, made possible by the Lansing voters, will house our police department, fire administration, courts, lockup, training facilities, a fire station, and other necessary resources for public safety and justice. I'm proud to announce tonight that we're pursuing geothermal and solar renewable energy sources, working with local partners and supporting our Sustainability Action Plan, and even leveraging President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act to save money and make this facility more sustainable and better for the environment. It's a true win-win. In Southwest Lansing, the old Pleasant Grove School is in extremely bad condition. This 1928 school, now owned by the Ingham County Land Bank, will be torn down and made ready for redevelopment. As the former school of Malcolm X, I expect to see a project that recognizes his impact and that will benefit Southwest Lansing. I'm really excited that the Ingham County Health Department is planning a health clinic here, as this is a medical desert. The Land Bank has an RFP out for proposals and expects to have something selected by the end of the summer. I want to thank County Treasurer Alan Fox and Roxanne Case and the Land Bank for all the help they're doing to make this happen. So please stand and be recognized. .3700 South Waverly is a strip mall that really needs some love. And I'm thankful that a gentleman named Brent Forsberg will be doing revitalization work here. The city was able to put $1 million in funding to assist this project. Now, I keep talking about $1 million here and $1 million there from what we call our revitalization and placemaking grants. These are funds that were given to us from the MEDC for these projects. So I want to thank you, Brent, and I want to thank our friends at the MEDC. And once again, I want to thank our friends in the legislature who made sure that these monies were in the appropriations. So thank you to all of you for making this happen on the South Waverly corridor. Also in this area, the Ingham County Housing Trust Fund has awarded a grant to develop the Ladybug Center, a sustainable living agri-community planned for approximately 13 acres off Holmes Road, which will include 30 single-family homes for purchase. We'll have more housing projects coming, and I can't wait to see these announcements coming from Ingham County. So thank you to Ingham County for creating this fund and for using it in our city. Thank you to any county commissioners that are here. In addition, I continue to be excited about the 1,700 new jobs and the $2.6 billion investment by Ultium for the new battery plant, who also recently announced that they've completed 2 million construction build hours. Combine that with the $8 million grant that we received from the federal government for installing new EV stations. We expect to build these new cars here in our capital city, these EV cars, and make ourselves the EV capital city. So thank you to the Board of Water and Light, who is instrumental in making this happen, and we're excited for our UAW auto workers to now put the world on electric wheels. And we certainly can't forget in Southwest Lansing, Logan Square. My administration, along with many partners, engaged with consultants to come up with the future plans for this property. Community engagement sessions were held, and we heard from folks in Southwest Lansing and throughout our city. This is a high-traffic area and has a lot of potential. We're finalizing a plan that can transform this area into a vibrant part of our city once again. And I can't talk about all these incredible opportunities without talking about the federal funding that made many of these possible. So I have to give the absolute biggest shout out to President Joe Biden. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, as well as the Inflation Reduction Act and the American Rescue Plan Act, have given us access to millions of dollars for the future of Lansing. So thank you, President Biden. Thank you, Senators Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters. And thank you, Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, for making this happen. It will not be forgotten here in Lansing. And as we talk about the South Side, I can't forget to mention an old friend that's getting a facelift. I'm really excited that the Moores Park Pool, which is an original Wesley Bintz pool and over 100 years old, will see $6.2 million in repairs. We've accepted a bid to do the work, and we're ready to go. So once again, you'll see a trend. Thank you to our state legislators for providing the funding. And thank you to Preservation Lansing and the Friends of the Moores Park Pool for your advocacy to keep this on the front burner for us and for the state. In Old Town, I'm thankful for the $1.7 million allocated by the state, once again, for a new fish ladder amphitheater in Old Town. Thank you to our legislators, thank you to the Community Foundation, and thank you to the inspiration which came from Lansing's 501 Dam Jam. Thanks to all of these, we'll reimagine the Brenke Fish Ladder into an outdoor theater with lighting and amenities to create a cool destination for all. But Old Town isn't just about that. It's also a great place to shop and to eat, and has some of the most amazing festivals. Blues Fest and Jazz Fest bring in the most incredible music. Scrap Fest is a nationally recognized event and brings in more and more people every year. This year, the unique Krampusnacht, that's right, I said it right, Krampusnacht, brought in hundreds of people to Old Town. And we can't forget Pride, which filled the streets last summer. There is always something to do in Old Town. It's always a lot of fun. The Capital Region International Airport is also thriving, going a little further north. They continue to expand flight options, and last year began a $13 million cargo ramp expansion and a $9.4 million road improvement project. And with both the property they own and property adjacent to the airport, there's room to develop and grow and attract even more job providers to this incredible regional asset. Thank you to Nicole Noel-Williams and for all the hard work she's doing, and to our board, our airport board of Lansing and Ingham County representatives. And of course, we have our downtown. As we all know, downtown is in transition. With thousands of state employees working sporadically or remotely, we face unique challenges to all capital cities. And I have talked to capital city mayors all across the country, and we're all facing the same thing. But I don't want anyone to assume that things have fallen apart. Downtown Lansing was a semifinalist for the Great American Main Street Awards. We're getting back, that's right, thank you. We're getting back. Somewhere in there, Kathleen is cheering. We're getting back to folks patronizing our businesses during the day, especially when the legislature is in session. And many people are coming downtown at night to dine and shop. Just about all our restaurants are open at night, so come down and grab a bite after work. You already heard Kevin talk about all the great things going on here at Grewal Hall. There's going to be so much more. There is so much more work to do. We know that to have the most active downtown, we need people. And we know that people want to live downtown. Hundreds of housing units for all incomes have opened in the last 6 years, but we aren't done yet. Last night, our city council unanimously passed the plan that we presented to build 460 new apartments, many of them attainable housing for state employees or teachers or other workers in our downtown and through our city. This means hundreds of new residents living and shopping in our downtown. So thanks to Paul Gentilozzi and his family for his investments in our city and his work to make this happen. And once again, thank you to our state legislators for providing $40 million that will make sure that this happens. We also have to recognize the importance, once again, of our small businesses. Downtown Lansing Incorporated has done an incredible job assisting small businesses throughout the pandemic with grants and other resources. I'm pleased to announce today that Sweet Encounters Bakery, Nubian, Sylvia's Sudsery, and Summit Comics and Games were recently notified that they will be receiving Michigan Main Street Vibrancy grants, which will allow them to do makeovers in their stores. So congratulations to all of those stores. But DLI isn't done yet. They're opening a brand new kitchen incubator in the Knapp's building. This will be a place where new food ideas can be tried, then spin out to become full restaurants. We've been successful in funding this, including receiving grants from the state government, thanks again to the MEDC and our legislators, and are excited for this to open. This is going to be a great complement to the Middle Village, which we've already seen spin out several small businesses right into the downtown. So DLI is working hard, and I want Kathleen Edgerly, Julie Reinhardt, and the DLI staff and board members to all please stand and be recognized. But wait, there's more downtown. That's right. We have new stores over near LBC and Michigrain. So go check out Tiny Bit of Wood and Sparrow Bloom Florist. These occupy the long vacant space that was the corner bar years ago, and we expect even more to be coming. Lots going on. On Saginaw Street, just north of here, we have 2 new housing proposals underway. Years ago, the Motor Wheel Factory was converted to apartments, and now the Prudent Place building behind it is set to be transformed into new sustainable housing. With $2 million, once again through the city's RAP grant funding, these apartments will be innovative and allow residents to live utility cost free. Then, along May Street and Pennsylvania, we'll soon see new townhomes and housing constructed to fill in this neighborhood. And I am still committed to a new city hall. City Council has accepted and appropriated $40 million from the state for a new city hall. My proposal is to revitalize the old city hall into a hotel, which is desperately needed, while moving city government in the Masonic Temple building and having a one-stop shop for residents and visitors. Our city council considered this last night, and some members indicated they wanted more time to evaluate this proposal and share it with the public. I will continue to work with any of them to get this done. But I want to thank Ron Bogie and the Bogie Group for all the hard work they have put into their project and to their commitment to growing Lansing. And as we talk about the downtown, I can't forget the MSU FCU ovation. No more having to go to Detroit or Grand Rapids for a concert. I mean, you can still go there, but soon you won't have to. Soon you can stay here and see more incredible shows. Along with Grewal Hall, the ovation will inject more energy and vibrancy into our downtown in a way that no other amenities can do. We start building this spring, and it should be ready sometime next year, and I can't wait to get in and see the first show. We also know that people need affordable housing. We have a proposal from the Lansing Housing Commission and CATA to spend $21.8 million, including $8 million in state financial support from MISHDA, to build affordable housing in the vacant lot next to the Barry Amos downtown on Grand. This is right near the bus station and will provide needed housing at affordable costs, as well as reduce the numbers of people that will have to go into shelters and be out on the streets that are struggling. So I look forward to seeing this considered by City Council a week from yesterday, Monday. As I talk about all this development, it's also important to ensure that all Lansing residents have the opportunity to grow our city. Last year, we created the Lansing Equitable Economic Development Initiative, and we started the Empower program. This ensures the city's commitment to economic growth is strategic and equitable by empowering entrepreneurs from the BIPOC communities. I'm proud that our first cohort graduated from this program, and I look forward to growing it more in the coming years. All of this work we couldn't do without our staff and the board of our Lansing EDC, or Economic Development Corporation. They do incredible work. So can they please stand and be, Carl Dorshemer and your staff, can you please stand to be recognized? And any board members that are here, please stand to be recognized. Lansing is a world-class city, as Mayor David Hollister always proclaims. I'm always eager to talk about the Lansing area to the entire nation. We have so much going on here, and I share it nationally every chance I get. I'm excited to show the vibrancy and potential of Lansing while also recruiting jobs and businesses to our city and to our region. We're going to have a bunch more on this, and I just wanted to tease it for you, so stay tuned for a little bit more on that effort for talent attraction and how we're going to continue to promote Lansing nationally. Keep an eye out. Our neighborhoods department has done incredible work. We created this a few years ago because we wanted to focus on neighborhoods. They have all kinds of incredible programs that we want to be sure to talk about. They've conducted bulk item cleanup events, and they organize cleanups where people can come and get equipment and help pick up trash along our streets and in our parks. As spring approaches, people want to get out and spruce up their neighborhoods, and Delisa Fontaine and our neighborhood department are ready to help. Our neighborhoods department and advisory board have also given out hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants. We have new bike racks, neighborhood gatherings, and other things that bring communities together. And we have art being installed throughout our city, from murals to tiles to gallery spaces to a large mother tree and more. We have so many creative residents that want to improve our neighborhoods and city, and I'm proud to help them do it, and I appreciate the work of our neighborhoods, of our Department of Neighborhoods, Arts, and Citizen Engagement. I got it. When talking about neighborhoods, we also can't forget our parks. And our Parks Department has done a ton of work improving our parks and playgrounds throughout our city. On the south side, 2.3 miles of additional pathway will be completed this year. This will connect the Fenner Nature Center to the Lansing River Trail and create a complete loop from Fenner to McGuire Park. Last September, we worked with the Community Foundation. We received a DNR grant to complete Play Michigan, our region's first universally accessible playground. Children with a disability can access every area of the park and play right alongside their friends. I'm thrilled to see this park so busy every day. Thank you. I'm tremendously proud of the work that we put into helping our neighborhoods and helping our neighbors to enjoy their city. So thank you all for your hard work. Earlier, I discussed the efforts of the Lansing Police Department. But I get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. We also have to recognize the unbelievable work of our Lansing firefighters. They take 30,000 calls per year, with 80% of those calls needing emergency medical assistance. My administration and our senior fire leadership have provided new advanced life support equipment that has upgraded our ambulances and has actually helped our firefighters. Chief Brian Sturdivant has also implemented annual physical exams with enhanced cancer screening for our firefighters, as cancer is the leading cause of firefighter death, and we need to catch it early. We've utilized federal funds for new ambulances and for new fire trucks. Once again, thanks to President Biden and Congress for ARPA and for the money. And now a word from Chief Sturdivant.
Hello, Lansing community. My name is Brian Sturdivant, and I am your fire chief. Just so very, very pleased to be in front of you right now, give you a little update on what's going on with your fire department. First and foremost, I would be remiss if I did not give you a personal thanks for the vote of confidence and the support that came with the bond proposal. That is so huge for our fire department, for our public safety partners, for the court system, and we could not have done that without the neighborhood support. We are going to work very, very hard on the fire department to continue to earn that trust that you bestowed upon us, and we're going to look to do that with a very high degree of world-class customer service. We're going to focus on a philosophical shift within the organization. We're looking to turn the corner and increase our level of cultural professionalism. We really want to ensure that we're supporting our members because they in turn provide the service to you as a community. So we have focused a lot of attention inward as it relates to mental health support, resources, and other assets that we can leverage to ensure that our members are the best they can be when you need them to be. Another initiative that we're going to be working on is our comprehensive community risk assessment. In the Lansing community, the fire department, through our fire marshal's office, is looking to develop a business registry where we have an idea of all of the businesses, from the mom and pops all the way up to major corporations that are located in our community, so that we can identify them, we can work with them on inspections, we can help them be a safe workplace for our community members. A part of that process is going to include our continual work with our current strategic plan. It is a 5-year plan that we kicked off in January of this year, and it speaks to a lot of the inward and outward focuses within the organization, such as increasing communications, increasing transparency, looking for any and every way to engage and allow our members to belong and to include themselves into the level of business that we are conducting. That process is going very, very well right now. So With that being said, thank you so very, very much for this opportunity. We really appreciate and look forward to a very robust year that is in front of us. You will be able to see tangible differences of your fire department as we continue to move forward. We've got to focus on increased inclusion within the organization. We've got an interest in right-sizing the organization to meet the demand for services that we currently see. We are going to continue to work with our City Hall partners in every facet and every manner to ensure that the Lansing Fire Department is looking and will continue to strive to be one of the best fire departments in the state of Michigan. As our mayor loves to say, Lansing's time is now, and the Lansing Fire Department truly believes in that. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you to Chief Sturdivant. Thank you to our LFD firefighters, and thank you to all of our first responders. Can we have a round of applause for our first responders? We know it's important for city government to save taxpayer dollars when possible. I'm proud to report that we've reduced our pension and retiree health care obligations by almost $400 million over the next 17 years. And we received an $11.5 million grant from the state, once again, thank you to our state legislators, to reduce our employee retirement system underfunded status. And last year, we got our bond rating increased, which means that when we sold municipal bonds, we saved the taxpayers millions of dollars. Even our finance and IT departments are saving us money. Our finance team is implementing a system called Pay It to make it easier to pay bills and buy permits with the city. Our chief information officer and our IT department have implemented a new cloud-based telephone system after reviewing all the phone numbers in the city and eliminating old legacy phone lines, including nearly all fax lines, saving the city money. And yes, we did still have fax lines, believe it or not. A couple of years ago, I announced the One Call to City Hall 311 service. This has been tremendously popular and very successful. We fielded nearly 59,000 calls, with 91% of those calls resolved without needing to be escalated. That's right. 311 operators are continually training on new topics, and we even have customer service representatives that speak Spanish. So now, people can use Lansing Connect on their computers or their phones, or they can call 311 to register questions and complaints about city services. And of course, they take compliments too. I also want to highlight the work that our city clerk, Chris Swope, and his staff are doing. You may not realize it, but we have 4 elections this year, and our clerk and his staff have been leaders in making voting safe and easy for everyone. You can always vote on election day at your polling place, but you can also vote absentee, or you can vote in person early. It's so easy, and I encourage everyone to get out and vote this year. And I want to offer kudos to our judges and the staff of our 54A District Court. They've implemented a new electronic filing system called MyFile for civil matters, reducing paper and making filings more accessible and efficient for anyone using the court. But the court is also focusing on prevention, not just justice. The federal emergency rental assistance funding has expired, and our court created an eviction diversion program to face this challenge. This program connects those in housing court with financial counselors. Residents have access to vital resources, helping to ensure they leave the courthouse in a more stable position than when they enter it. So I want to thank the judges and the staff of our 54A District Court. If the judges that are here and the staff will please rise and be recognized, I would appreciate it. This, of course, goes hand in hand with our Human Relations and Community Service, or HRCS, as we affectionately call it, with that department and with their HRCS advisory board's work to help the unhoused or those at risk of homelessness. By providing individuals with resources to stay in their homes, we can prevent them from becoming homeless. HRCS provided eviction prevention and rental assistance for those at risk and utility assistance that help families reduce the risk of eviction and homelessness. We've also been able to provide services to our most vulnerable citizens. By addressing housing challenges, we reduce homelessness and we create a more sustainable and inclusive community. Last year, we created the city's first nighttime warming center where we've served over 200 individuals. Now, I'll be the first to admit it's not perfect, But our goal was to help keep our unsheltered neighbors safe this winter while looking to the future. Our HRCS department has engaged the community for ideas, and they have issued an RFP, or a request for proposals, for plans from service providers. We have one-time funding of $800,000, again, from the state, from the legislature, that we can use, and we can use that for infrastructure. So our HRCS department will continue to work with the community and the HRCS board on plans for future homeless needs. We also continue to make progress advancing our equity and inclusion goals. Our official DEI board is using the Racial Justice and Equity Alliance Comprehensive Plan as a roadmap that will move us forward toward the future. So thank you to our HRCS and to our HRCS staff who are working hard every day. As we talk about city services, we're also doing everything we can with funding that we get from the state to fix roads. Sadly, state transportation funding law gives the city very few dollars to fix the streets. It's probably the #1 complaint from residents that I hear, and I fully understand why. We have about $300 million in road needs right now, but we only receive about $17 million per year. Last year, we used our road funding to redo 42 city roads and streets. We fixed 29 miles of road, and we newly paved 6 miles. In addition, our public service staff received more than 1,300 complaints and used over 800 tons of patch material to fill roughly 64,000 potholes. But the reality is that our neighborhood roads are in bad shape, and we simply need more dedicated funding from the state for our neighborhoods and streets. Another area of concern with residents is sidewalks. Last year, our sidewalk repair program made 2,652 sidewalk joint cuts and fixed 408 sections of sidewalk with asphalt. We continue to aggressively fix sidewalks and work with neighbors on sidewalk replacement, and we'll be reviewing those procedures to see if there are any better ways to do it. Thank you to our public service staff for actively engaging with the community on any and all of these efforts. Having qualified workers and adequate staffing is a challenge everywhere. Our HR hiring team is pushing every day to recruit and hire a diverse, skilled workforce for the city. They have a very special message about the serious and important work they're doing for Lansing.
My name is Elizabeth O'Leary, and I'm the Director of the Department of Human Resources. The Human Resources Department is generally known as an internal service provider for city employees. Since day one in this role, I've repeatedly said that this department is the heart of the organization. So many of life's milestones are addressed within this department, from the date of hire through retirement, and it's our honor and pleasure to serve the employees of the City of Lansing. While most of our department serves primarily city employees, we do have a division within our team that is external and internal facing, the hiring division.
Hi, my name is Kyla Moore. I'm the Deputy Director of Human Resources here for the City of Lansing, and I'm excited to share that one of our main priorities for this year was to fill all of our hiring positions. We have successfully done that, and at this point in time, we are working on strategically keeping our processes moving so that we can come up with great solutions and plans on how we're going to decrease the time to fill positions. Our plan is forthcoming within the next couple of months, so we'll have more for you. Stay tuned.
We've also been working to cultivate relationships and partnerships within other city departments. This helps us meet the needs of the community by ensuring that we hire the best talent to provide city services. The changes that are underway would not be possible without our hiring division employees, and we thought it would be a great time for you to get to know them better.
We work in hiring. Of course, we take our job seriously.
I work in hiring. Of course, I follow process and procedures.
I work in hiring. Of course, everything is urgent.
I'm in hiring. Of course, I'm going to document every phase of the process.
I work in hiring. Wait, what's my line? Thank you. Of course, I saw your email request. I'll respond after I get through my to-do list.
I work in hiring. Of course, I'm going to make sure our processes are fair and equitable.
I'm in hiring. Of course, I'm going to make sure that your interview goes smoothly.
I'm in hiring. If you don't meet the minimum qualifications for one position, of course I'm going to find a perfect fit for you in another position.
I work in hiring. Of course I'm going to make sure you submit your onboarding paperwork in a timely manner.
We work in hiring. Of course we love serving the city of Lansing and having a bit of fun in our jobs too.
And I'm the mayor, and of course I want the best people working for our city. Our HR staff is working to aggressively and quickly fill openings with talented and qualified candidates. This is especially true for our first responders. We just brought on new classes of both police officers and firefighters, but we know that we could still use more. I hear often from residents and businesses that they'd like to see more patrols and more community policing. As part of my leadership role in the Urban Corps Mayors, which is a coalition of mayors of the urban cities of Michigan, I've joined with Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan and Grand Rapids Mayor Rosalind Bliss and others to support a public safety revenue sharing bill to pass the state legislature. This legislation would dedicate part of the state sales tax toward public safety for cities that have experienced higher crime. It's passed the State House, and I want to thank Representatives Angela Whitwer, Emily Devendorf, and Kara Hope for supporting it. If enacted, it would provide more than $3 million a year for Lansing, for the city of Lansing, for crime prevention. So should this bill pass the Senate and get signed into law, I'm announcing tonight that we will hire 15 new police officers. Since I became mayor, we've gone from 201 officers to 212 officers. This would allow us to go to almost 230 officers citywide and would allow us to increase funding for the Advanced Peace Initiative that I've already talked about. I've spoken with Senator Sarah Anthony and Senator Sam Singh, both who are very aware and doing their best to make this happen. I'll include it in my budget, these new police officers, contingent on those dollars passing the state legislature, and I call on the legislature and the governor to get this done. There's so much going on in Lansing, as you've heard. We have a vision for housing, development, public safety, and helping people, but we can't forget our kids. I have to acknowledge the work of the Lansing School District and all they do for our students. I have to congratulate them on their recent announcement of the highest four-year graduation rate in the history of the Lansing School District at 76%. I'm especially proud of this both as a Lansing dad and as a Lansing Schools dad and as mayor. My administration prioritized graduation rates after talking with our superintendent a few years ago, and we provided funding from our federal ARPA allocation to create graduation counselors who make sure that students finish courses and have the credits they need to graduate. And wow, is this working. This partnership between the city and our school district, in addition to everything else the school district is doing, is ensuring that our students have every opportunity to get into the workforce or pursue a higher degree and lead successful lives. I want to thank Superintendent Ben Schuldiner. I want to thank Lansing School Board President Rachel Willis and our entire school board for all they're doing to help our students. And while we look to the future, we should remember those that helped to build our city in the past. I want to congratulate the Lansing Women's Club as they celebrate their 150th anniversary. We have so many wonderful nonprofit and service clubs here in Lansing, and 150 years of service by the Women's Club shows how our residents help and support each other every day. As they enter into this special anniversary year, it's the perfect time to acknowledge and celebrate what the women of LWEC have done for the Lansing region. I would ask Joan Bauer, former state representative, former councilwoman Joan Bauer, who's involved, to stand up and be thanked. She's here somewhere. So as you've heard tonight, we have so much going on in this city and so much to be proud of as we look to the future. New and improved housing for all incomes is critically important as we grow our city, and we'll have new single-family homes as well as apartments here in Lansing. We'll grow with equity and ensure that those that have fallen on hard times get the help they need to succeed. We'll have the jobs of the present and the future, and we'll have the training and the education to help people build wealth throughout our city. We'll have extensive neighborhood resources with thriving corridors and business districts. We'll have a safe and secure community with public safety that provides necessary rescue, enforcement, and proactive community work. We'll have the amenities for the people that come here and the sustainability measures that are necessary for our community as well as our planet. I love being mayor of this diverse, vibrant city, and I'll keep working for everyone to keep us moving forward and going strong. This is my vision for the future. This is the vision of Lansing. The plan is in motion, and we all play a part in Lansing's present as well as our future. So thank you for being here today and for all you do for Lansing. And to borrow a phrase from Governor Gretchen Whitmer, let's get it done. But before that, let's have a bit of fun, stick around, and enjoy this great venue and music from an awesome band, Miranda and the M80s. Thanks, everyone.